When it comes to love, all of us, we seek to connect and to have a bond with other people. Each one of us needs somebody to walk with, to be vulnerable to, and to know that this person has my back. They will be there for me no matter what. I want to speak about love within this aspect. Number one, there is the love that we call romantic love, where there is a very high level of deep emotional connecting and also physically very high attraction towards that person. They are emotionally attached and sexually very excited about each other. What lacks in that relationship is a commitment. So they can be together for a long time, but they are not taking the next step to make the relationship permanent. Maybe there is one of them who wants a commitment while the other one is ambivalent about the commitment. So that relationship doesn't go anywhere because they are not agreeing. The attachment styles here might be playing a role in that. So when the dismissive avoidant is in a relationship where they are afraid of commitment because of the way that they believe about relationships are not safe and they can't trust anybody except themselves, so they will avoid commitment. And once they avoid commitment, the person they are with will constantly feel that they are not very sure whether this person is here to stay or they are waiting for a chance to leave. And so that can create a lot of dissonance within that relationship. Then we have what we call empty love. Empty love is where you are committed to somebody, but you do not have high levels of connectivity or bonding emotionally or even sexually. They started off like everybody else with high levels of emotional connection because of the flooding of the hormones that are triggered when we have a new love interest, what we call infatuation. You might find people who make a commitment during infatuation period. Most of the times, those individuals will either be the avoidant, dismissive, or the fearful avoidant. If they meet together, there is usually a whirlwind of romance and they make commitments. So people who get married during that time, there is a lot of hormonal driven connections. Then what happens, that love, it can either grow into real love or it is going to stay that way. It's just empty. So, but now we are committed. We already made a commitment to be together. Or sometimes we are committed because we got a kid. When I hear couples asking me questions like they have been together for 6 months and they want to do investments together, they want to buy a home together, I usually ask, do you know this person well enough to make that commitment? Because now you are committing to a person who you are dating and you are not very sure whether they are compatible with you. You are just going with the emotions of the time. Then we have the people who have a lot of commitment and they have a lot of emotional connectedness, but they do not have that high level of attractiveness. The lust in a relationship, we can look at lust not only in the negative way, but also lust is that physical attraction, that sexual attraction to the person of the opposite sex. So you might find people who are very, they have a friendship, they have a commitment to each other, and they also connect emotionally. But when it comes to physical connections, whether it is high sex drive or wanting to have that last part of the relationship, they struggle. And I hear people who tell me that this person that I'm with, I really love them, they are really good people, they treat me well, but I'm not attracted to them. That's what we call companionate love. That companionate love may not necessarily be fulfilling for both of you. And that is where you find people who cheat, but they won't leave the person that they have been with for a long time. Why? Because this person has so many other things that they bring into the relationship except this part of the physical attraction. Being able to identify that, you can figure out what is my attachment style here so that I can be able to take this relationship and make it a relationship that meets all my needs for a relationship. When you think about physical attraction, it's part of the companionship. And if there is no physical attraction, then you guys have a relationship, especially if it's a marriage, it's a sexless marriage. There isn't much of that physical attraction that is there. And so you want to look at that and ask yourself, what is not going right? Dismissive, avoidant person and an anxious, preoccupied person might develop over time. They might develop that kind of a relationship. When you think about the theory of love, there is what we would call the ideal love, and that is now the consummate love, they call it. Consummate love is where you have all these three things I'm talking about. There is a lot of emotional connection, there is deep understanding of each other, there is friendship, there is deep care for each other, and then number two, there is a lot of physical attraction. We feel that you are attracted to this person and you work on keeping the spice within your relationship. And then number three, there is also that feeling of commitment. I'm committed to you, I'm committed to what we have, because we are working on shared goals, we are walking the same path. And so we agree on a lot of things, and then also we are able to create the romance within our relationship. That is the ideal relationship you want. Now, these people who get into this, what we call consummate love, they are also very realistic. They know that love goes through seasons. So if it is a season where one of us is going through a certain stressor, there is a death in the family, there is a loss of job or whatever it is, they take those opportunities to work together, to adjust to the change and create ways of working together despite what is going on. So these two people, they will develop a very close relationship, mainly because they are able to adjust to the transitions of life, and they don't go into hiding, neither do they go into attack mode. And they are willing to be open, and they are also willing to accept help from each other. Even in spite of what is going on in the world, I am able to adjust to protect and to continue to be present within my relationship. So it is very important to understand that when you are getting into a relationship such as a marriage, when we do these vows for better or for worse, for richer, for poor, I need to also understand that when I'm going through a personal crisis, I need to see my spouse as a support system, so that now I pull them in, I get the support that I need, and number two, my spouse is not left out in the cold to make assumptions of why I am withdrawing or withholding from them. The person who shuts down because they are going through a personal crisis, they are the dismissive avoidant, because they never saw that at home, because people either overreacted or people didn't react at all. And so that is what they bring into their adult intimate relationships, because of the fear of abandonment and the fear of rejection and feeling like relationships are not safe. If you have any questions, please leave comments for me. You can reach me through my website. I appreciate you continuing to follow me on YouTube, and let me know other subjects that you would like for me to address. Until I see you next time, continue to live by design, and may God bless you.